4 charged in extremist plot to seize land near Quebec City. The men who were arrested have links to Canada's military, and the police recovered a large cache of guns and explosives. You know, the first thing it made me think of was Jerry McKenzie for some reason.
Very diagonal.
As part of a terrorism investigation, 4 men with links to the Canadian military have been arrested and charged with planning to forcibly seize land near Quebec City in what police described on Tuesday as an act of ideological motivated violent extremism. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police said 3 of the men took concrete actions to facilitate terrorist activity and face terrorism charges. The authorities say they had seized a large stockpile of guns, explosives, and ammunition from the group. Most, if not all of those arms, were stolen from military bases. The 4th man faces a number of firearms and explosive charges. The men charged with terrorism offenses were identified as Marc Aurel Chabot, Raphael Lagace, both of Quebec Cities, and Simon Angers Odette of Neuville and Matthew Forbes out of Point Rouge. Mr. Forbes and Mr. Chabot are corporals in the Canadian Armed Forces stationed at a large base northwest of Quebec City. The military said in a statement on Tuesday evening. The armed forces added that another of the accused men is a former member of the Canadian Forces. Well, the fourth man was once a civilian instructor with the Royal Canadian Air Cadets. They were all arrested Tuesday morning. In the statement, the police said that the men had been facing the terrorism charges that have been planning to create an anti-government militia. Photos released by the Mountie show 7 people wearing what appear to be Canadian military fatigues and brandishing or firing weapons during what the police described as a military-style training. The group dates to 2021. It was not a particularly sophisticated endeavor. The photos posted by the police on Tuesday, for example, came from the group's social media account.
This sounds a little suspect. I mean, I hate to say it, but it just sounds
not
like
a criminal offense to be on Instagram or to follow them or any of that, as long as you're not willing to use violence. Habel said there's no evidence to show that they were willing to take it to the next level. In raids leading up to Tuesday's arrest, the police in January 24 seized 16 explosive devices, 83 firearms, and about 11,000 rounds of ammunition, about 130 magazines, 4 pairs of night vision goggles.
Hang on a sec. Can you go back up then? So how come she said,
you know, it has sort of like
but she says there's no evidence
over it with them all being from the military.
She says there's no evidence of it. And then they go, what?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me at all.
Could be me, but I don't think it is.
Well, I didn't change anything here, so let's see. Yeah,
let's see if I can hear this clip, and then we'll know if it's my fault.
Okay.
So I'm going to jump over to here and see if this works. Oh, darn it.
Okay, yeah.
I can't hear
Can you hear me now?
Let me see if I hear this clip. I can't hear this clip.
No, I can't hear
what has happened?
Some people.
Oh, now it's on. The ads are playing.
The volume level has gone down to 0 again somehow. It's interesting.
Yeah, you've got some real bad technical gremlins happening today.
Coffee gremlins.
Coffee gremlins.
Now, where is my clip gone? Is this it? No. Here, let's see if this works. What is going on? This was a video a minute ago. Didn't I just like try and play it?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't this a video just a minute ago? Did it get
well, there was an ad playing, so I don't know what happened there. There was an ad playing on it, but
it's supposed to be a video.
But I do want you to go back to that other thing. I was commenting, but you couldn't hear me comment on it. But
Oh, what did you say?
Well, the New York Times thing, I mean, it said there was no evidence, and then it talked about a whole bunch of evidence, and then I wanted you to read the very last part. It talked about basically the far right utopia thing.
Oh,
So I was going to ask you, is that what triggered that traditional values equals extremism clip? Is that what you were playing?
yeah, that's what the
Is
clip
this what triggered the whole thing?
So a bunch of evidence.
Okay, so just wait a sec. Okay, right there. There was no good research. Hang on a sec. There was a point when she said there was no evidence. No evidence of other terrorist plots by its members. She said there was no evidence of other terrorist plots. Then you went on to read about all they found all the weapons and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, I think there was no evidence that they were ready to use violence against anyone.
Okay.
And then the last thing, the last sentence is all far-right movements basically have at their core this utopian vision of we will take over this land and we create a whites-only kind of society.
That's all far-right movements, really, eh? So is this the guy that came on and said a bunch of people joined the military just to learn how to kill brown guys? Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, that's probably the same guy.
That's probably the same guy.
I would assume that's the same guy. All right, let me see if I can get this dang clip to play. I mean, if I had to guess, it seems like it was well, let's see. We could try the longer one.
Sure. I mean, people are sharing like the 10-second one, so maybe it would be good to play the longer one anyways.
Yeah, it's just going through the ads because I had that one all queued up and through the ads already.
Oh, I see.
And now, of course, they don't give you an option to even skip the ads. I mean, how do these people even exist anymore?
Are you talking about the mainstream or?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's painful.
It's painful. I mean, even the alternative in Canada is starting to piss me off too, honestly.
Well, it's these headlines that they come up with. I have one for later, the CTV News. I mean, they're just bullshit. They're almost outright lies. They're headlines.
Yeah, and they seem to be more aligned than they ought to be half the time too, you know? But anyway, I digress. Let's see if this works now.
And the RCMP has come out since then.
What'd they say?
They've verified the statement.
Yeah, I got that too next.
Okay, good.
Yes, Staff Sergeant with the RCMP. And Sergeant Habel, thank you for taking the time for CTV today. Can you tell us more about these allegations and what they mean?
Well, what I can tell you is that it's a big win for us to have these charges laid. Ideologically motivated violent extremism is something that worries the RCMP across the country. It's something that is... I
mean, the real problem is they stole the weapons. Other than that, it's just some dudes having fun in the woods as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly. And
to investigate.
It's not good when you're stealing guns.
Yeah.
From the army. I mean, you're going to get yourself in trouble.
Them sounds a lot higher of a voice than I expected.
Oh, is this an it?
Oh, dude.
But that really needs to be dealt with. So having this investigation after a little over 2 years, going to arrests and charges being laid is something we're very proud and happy about.
It's just gleeful about this.
Can you tell me as well about
we found some extremists.
The searches that were conducted? I understand these happened back in January of last year, 2024.
Yeah, so we received information in March 2023 and then started the investigation and then did everything that was needed in order to get to having enough information to obtain the search warrants, and then seized, like you mentioned, a lot of firearms and explosive devices and military equipment. And then following those seizures, we were able to get more information, and that led to arrests today. So it's people outside police forces like have to follow the criminal code, like just in their everyday life, and then we also have to follow the criminal code when we investigate, and then that means getting the necessary legal authorization in order to get more information and to feed our investigations. So that takes a little while sometimes.
Yeah, we have a graphic we're going to bring up if we can, just to show the 4 individuals here and their names and their ages as well. I wonder how serious is this? You know, people say and do things all the time. This seems to have been.
Oh, I just got a head rush.
If you
What is
just
the
watch
point
it,
of doing that?
we're laughing because the graphic doesn't show any faces; it's just silhouettes.
In a
So
different
you have a
layer,
list of
though,
names,
you know,
basically.
actually training and with
Which they already gave us.
weapons and ammunition, and perhaps a plan to seize property as well. What do you make of that?
Well, of course, it's serious, and it's something that we've kept an eye on, and where public safety was a priority throughout the investigation for sure. The fact that we could charge with facilitating a terrorist activity, that it means that people were actually preparing, were taking actions that led us to believe that they wanted to actually achieve something and wanted to commit this violent terrorist act. So of course it was very serious, and it's dangerous. We don't know exactly what could have been done, but when someone is at the point of wanting to seize property, then the plan is really ongoing, and we needed to make the arrest. We're also part of ensuring public safety to make sure that that the plans were stopped and that everyone was secure today.
Obviously, we've heard many stories in the United States of similar style militias seizing property and standoffs with government forces.
Really, buddy?
It's worth mentioning that in the States, militias are constitutionally protected right.
This is quite new in Canada. I wonder if you're able to give us any sense, Sergeant Habel, how close these men may have been to actually carrying out operations.
Close enough that we arrested them, and close enough that we were investigating, and but not close enough that people were put in danger.
And what happens now? What's the next steps here in this case?
This case is pretty much done, so we'll wait and see what. Now it's on to the maybe a trial, maybe court. It's now in the hands of the prosecutors. It's the next step, and for us, if we get further information, if we find out something that would mean we would need to reopen this investigation or to start a new one, then we would do that for sure.
And you're confident that it begins and ends with these 4, that there are no others that may have been involved?
We can never say that no one would have been involved, or that no one is planning the same kind of events in the country, because most of the recruiting and the radicalization is happening online, and then the internet has no boundaries, and it's so omnipresent in our lives that we don't know where someone might be radicalizing or having falling for that ideology. So something could happen somewhere else, and that's why we have teams all across the country that are working hard at ensuring our national security. Yeah, Sergeant Camille Habel joining us from Montreal with the RCMP with the very latest on this big investigation, arresting 4 people charged with terrorist activity, trying to form an anti-government militia and seize property near Quebec City. Sergeant, thanks so much for taking the time for CTV News. Much appreciated.
So it wasn't even in that one.
Well, yeah, it wasn't in that clip. So, I mean, Joe's got a good point here in the chats. Do they have any recordings, texts? I mean, I didn't remember seeing anything when you read the New York Times article.
Okay, wait. This is a clip again. So let's see if.
But I'd like to actually hear some concrete something that they went, but they're just saying, you know what she's saying? Well, there was enough evidence because we arrested them. I mean, that's her excuse. That's her evidence, is that they arrested them. So there must have been enough of that. Besides it being okay to be on Instagram and to have guns and all that. I mean, I guess the stolen weapons was the evidence. That's the only thing I heard that was not that they,
something's going on with this clip. It's like they're in the process of trying to scrub it from the internet.
Are you talking about the clip where they actually said, I mean, I've got you. Want me to try it? I've got it here.
Wait, I got it. Let's see if this works.
Often will show by people, radicalization in general quite often will show by people isolating themselves and changing their behavior, like changing what they're saying on a subject, like becoming more extremist. Like, and if someone you know was very believed in equal gender rights, but all of a sudden are leaning towards like traditional values, and that might be a sign that they're becoming more extremist. But we also have to remember that having the most extremist views is perfectly legal in Canada, and that it's only acting with violence to prove that view that becomes a criminal offense.
So pause it. I mean, that's not even true, right? I mean, there's hate speech laws, so it's not about violence only. I mean, and you can't.
These guys didn't do anything violent,
right? Well, they stole, unless they stole weapons.
Was that violence?
Well, it's breaking the law. I mean, I guess that's the point. Is that
stole stuff? You're not a violent offender, though.
But she's saying it's okay to have extremist views as long as you're not violent. Well, it's not, because we can't have extremist views because
you have them, you just can't say them.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So
there's you got the clarification too, then, or
I've got the clarification here. RCMP clarifies stance on traditional values. The RCMP is clarifying remarks made by an officer discussing radicalization in a video clip that sparked controversy, with the police force headquarters saying it was not suggesting that someone with traditional values is an extremist. So if you're not gay, I was saying gay, right? She was just, if what, a submissive wife? Is that what she was getting at?
I know. You used to believe that the men and women were equal, but now you've got traditional values.
Since when were women not equal in traditional values? I mean, the RCMP is in no way implying that embracing traditional values makes an individual radical or extreme. Spokesperson Mary Eve Breton told the Epoch Times in a statement on July 9th. Staff Sergeant Camille Habel told the public broadcaster that an individual who is radicalizing may show signs such as isolating themselves or changing their behavior or stance on a topic. She said if someone was once a strong believer in equal gender rights, but all of a sudden are leaning towards like traditional values, then that might be a sign they're becoming more extremist. Habel added that having the most extremist views is perfectly legal. Various clips of Habel's interview on CBC garnered hundreds of thousands of views and reactions on the X social media platform. The JCCF commented by saying no RCMP having traditional values does not make you an extremist. Barry Bussey, and a lawyer and president of the First Freedoms Foundation, also reacted and asked for more context to understand Habel's comments. He said that the RCMP and other federal institutions appear to be influenced by postmodern ideological views on what is deemed acceptable. Instead of focusing on those adopting traditional values, which for many is a sign of spiritual maturity, perhaps our institution should address the sources of street violence. What else we got here? It's observed that sometimes sudden change in one's behavior, beliefs, or goals, as well as tolerating the use of violence to achieve those goals, that could be one of several factors that signal shift towards extremism. Each instance would have to be examined on a case-by-case basis, and all indicators would have to be considered in their totality. The RCMP said 3 of the accused were planning to create an anti-government militia and have been charged with knowingly facilitating terrorist activity, an offense punishable by up to 14 years in prison for playing with their guns. The individuals accused are blah, blah, blah. The RCMP said those planning to create anti-government militia had taken part in survival and ambush training and had conducted a scouting operation. Firearms, including some prohibited and illegal high-capacity magazines, were allegedly used in these activities. So, a couple things of note. Those probably none of those weapons were prohibited up until the Liberals wrote some words down on a piece of paper a couple of years ago. They were probably, most of the cases, they probably weren't even restricted. They were probably just over-the-counter firearms. And high-capacity magazine is just every magazine they sell with the little with the rivet taken out.
I have something on that.
Do you? Okay, good. I'm about done here.